welcome to another edition of the Operation Game Night podcast. I'm your host, Travis Smith. Today, joining us, we have a very special debriefer. He is the hostess with the mostest. He's magnanimous. He's magnificent. He is Mike Argenziano from Bearwin Plays Games. Mike, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Oh, yeah, we're fabulous, man. You have been playing some awesome games, and we just really want to get you on here to hear specifically about Vantage because I'm a Stonemaier fanboy. This game,
Same, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's got the T-shirt and everything. This game, I am not a solo guy. I'm not really a co-op guy. I'm not a reading out of a book guy, but I have still been teetering on the edge of wanting to buy Vantage. That maybe this will be the solo game that, does it for me, and I can sit down and not be bothered that I have no friends and I can just play. So I'm really looking forward to hearing about it from you.
Yeah,
Excellent.
No, I'm excited to share it with you guys.
The other sultry voice that you hear on the podcast is Clayton Gable. Clay, how you doing?
I'm good. I've already said too much.
So, Mike, this is your show. We are so excited to hear about Vantage. You're, getting it right when it came out. You are one of the first people we know that has laid hands on it and experienced it. It's something super unique that doesn't exist really anywhere else in board gaming. So, give us your first impressions of Vantage. How many times have you played it? Give us a little breakdown of the rules. Tell us about it.
All right. So, first off, Clay, there might be a solution to your rulebook issue with these types of games with Vantage. We'll get to that, though.
All right, sweet.
So, and also with that, I was hesitant, being a Stonemaier champion, like I love Stonemaier, I was hesitant about buying it as well. Because I was like, I don't want to be in a rule book. And I watched one playthrough, and it seemed like more work than it was worth for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a great game, and I love it. I got it for literally, I think, 4 days after it was released, delivered, and I had already popped it open and was playing it. And since then, and it's been about 14 days, so I've played it 12 times.
Whoa!
In the 14 days. Actually, I played 2 times yesterday at Starbucks while waiting for my car to get fixed.
Wow.
So, yeah, totally a great game and loved every minute of it. Just as a brief breakdown, like Vantage, you're with you and your co-space ranger types float around space, and your ship goes awry, and you have to jump in a pod and crash land on a planet. But the unfortunate thing is you crash away from everyone else around you. So it's you and your Og, I think they call it an Og suit. And you land on the planet, and you have a mission, and hopefully, so maybe to bring you guys back together, or one of the more common ones I'll say, because I don't want to give spoilers, is collect a menagerie of animals. So that's one you usually see in a lot of the playthroughs, so not to get a lot of spoilers. And then you kind of just explore. Jamie wasn't lying when he was like, it's literally like Zelda. You're just kind of wandering around trying to complete missions and not getting attacked by a chicken. That's literally the only thing I really remember about Zelda back then is the chickens. It's been a very long time. But yeah, so you just spend your time doing different actions on cards and stuff to get through it. But the basic setup is literally you have a starting location that starts on the rule book. I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
Probably want it upside, right? And then you just kind of follow the directions. It literally takes maybe 3-4 minutes to get going.
Wow.
And then once you land on the planet, you have a starting location. And this is another one of those cards that kind of is the beginning of it. And everyone will have their own starting card. There we go. You'll have your own starting card, and you'll describe what's on the card to people, but they can't see it, which is kind of a cool concept, especially for you guys, is if you all were to pick this up, you could play it across the country from each other, and it's basically the same thing, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so like you would describe what's here, and you guys can kind of work together work towards that goal of collecting a menagerie of animals. Um, there's some skill tokens that you have that you can use to pay off your rolls and stuff, because you start with dice. I think there you might be easier to put a picture of the dice up there. Um, you have skill dice and challenge dice and stuff like that you will roll. Um, and based off of the challenge dice, kind of like in those black dice there that you see, those are challenge dice in a pool. And on your turn, you'll pick an action you want to do, which is on the right of the card. And there's 5 to 6 usually on each one, and then they relate to a certain book. There's 7 books that are in there, and as you're choosing your actions, like a movement or departure or helping a sentient, you would go to that page with that card number. And before you read any further, it just tells you like help, and then it'll have a dice number, and you'll roll those black dice, and then on you'll have certain things, and you start with. I'm sorry if I'm going too fast here.
No.
Let it rip.
As you can see on that board there, you have 3 tracks that you kind of want to stay as far away from 0 as possible. You have health, morale, which is a star, and time. And everything you do, you succeed. It just might make you injured, or takes too long and your og suit's dying, or you lose morale because you feel like it's such a strenuous task. But those dice, all the black dice, going back to those, all have like a heart or a any of those 3, a dash or a reset facing on it, and you'll put them on your cards depending on the type of task you do. And then the lightning ones, anyone can put a dice there that you're playing with. So you'll do that, and if you can place any of that dice on the card, you're good. It doesn't affect your health tracks at all. But if you can't, then you start manipulating that track. So you kind of want to fill up your grid of cards as you go with a variety, so that if you roll a heart, you have a space for that heart dice, or you roll on a departure, you have a blue departure square you can put that dice in. And there's a million different ways, but there's the basic 6 different types of spaces you can fill in. And then based off of that, you'll read the passage, and it'll tell you what's going on, and where you're going, or if you got a pet, or you found a crystal. Or one of the crazy things that I won't get too detailed is there is so many mini games that are inside this box. Like there's a Mission Impossible type thing going on in one of them, that I MF'd in the middle of Starbucks because I couldn't figure it out. But you still succeed. No matter what, you're constantly moving forward, because unless you die, you're going to keep going, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the basics of it. And you can offset some of your dice, like how many you roll with the different tokens. So if like you're doing a green help action, you can spend some of these green tokens, and then you only have to roll 1 dice or no dice. So you can offset it by those, but you can also help each other. So if Clay was trying to do something and I had a green token, I can spend my green token to help him mitigate that dice roll. So you guys can really work together. I've played majority of the time solo. I've played twice with my girlfriend, and majority of the time solo. The gameplay, unlike most Stonemaier games, there's no Toma. So
nice.
you just play. There's no like I got to manipulate a card or flip or move a shadow character. None of that. So you're just on the planet alone, minus a sentience, and there's a traveler that talks to you that just randomly pops up. But for the most part, you can just go at it. Now I know like I said, I was really hesitant about it because of all the reading that you would have to do in these books. Like there's pages of things here.
Dang.
I like it. I actually ended up really enjoying it. I think it's great. I like the no screen time thing. Someone actually, though, created a Rule Pops webpage that you can go in there and type in the number, like 272, and the skill, so help, and it'll actually pop it up there for you. So you're not having to flip through multiple books and stuff like that. And I actually tried that for the first time at Starbucks. And it works, it's good, but that could kind of help your, I don't want to shift through a bunch of books, Clay.
Yeah. I'm notorious for whining about that.
Yeah, but the good thing, though, is it's only like a blurb. It's like 2 lines, and then you move on. So it's really, really kind of cool in that way.
Is there a coherent story involved, or is it kind of, just like disjointed little blurbs and you're kind of one-offing things?
So there's the mission. I forgot that part. You draw a mission, the menagerie of animals for this example, and that's kind of what you're working towards. But you can also win by completing destiny cards that you find along the way, which is like helping a sentient start a new life in a different location. So those are like what you're working towards. But in general, no, there's not like an overlapping, like you're trying to save the planet from dying or anything like that. One of the cool things I've seen that I don't believe Jamie was trying for is people are actually writing journals. So they're playing this game and then writing like, star date 1722 and like creating a whole like story for their hour and a half, 2-hour games about what they're doing. So no, it's left to your imagination, really. Which I love, because I'm not that type of person, so I like seeing that people are doing that because it makes me think about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Oath. The game Oath will sell you like that big leather-bound journal that you can like keep track of all your character stats and write down your different feats and everything. That's cool, man. Since you brought it up, is it taking you an hour and a half per game, or is it like hour and a half if you are playing with 6 players? Like, what's the playtime like?
So the box says like an hour and 20 minutes to 200 minutes or something like that. I've had, out of the 12 games, I've had games that lasted 12 minutes. Literally, I timed it because I was being like every choice I had your starting character card that's in the middle of your grid, and it's like rolls 6 dice, and then I have 2 slots. That ain't gonna work. So I was constantly going down that track. And then other games, like I was rolling the dashes, which don't affect anything. It's just like a free roll. And that 30 minutes, 45. The longest one I've had was 2 hours and a half, 2:45. But it's really, it ranges.
Wow.
And then there's also, even if like in that game that I lasted 12 minutes or 13 minutes, there's actually a mechanic in there where you re-roll all the black dice that you have, and whatever shows up there, it's like a refresh or respawn. So you move them to those spaces so you can continue on instead of just ending it. But also even if you completed a mission and you wanted to keep going, it gives you like a destiny. Like you found the menagerie of animals. Now, help map out the ocean or whatever that destiny would be. So you can keep going. So there's really no time frame that I think is like set. I think that was just like a ballpark, like, hey, be prepared. You could be playing this for 2 hours. I think on his podcast, his live stream on Wednesday, someone said they played for 12 hours.
Holy
wow.
I'm not sure how. That's amazing. I don't know how many respawns they went through because you're only supposed to do it once. But yeah, no, it's totally open-ended, which is great for you guys. I mean, you got kids and stuff going on. You can stop at any point and just kind of carry on.
Yeah. Okay. And so the most you've played at is 2, though, yeah?
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing is I have my girlfriend and me, and she'll play any game I put in front of her, but it's just us 2 usually. Or when we hang out with my ex-boss and his wife, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Finish pandemic.
Yeah, I don't think that, from what I've heard and from my own experience with games kind of like this, I don't think I'd want to play it with more than 2. And I think 1's probably what I would buy it for. Just because I don't like describing stuff, like to me, I feel like I would get sick of being like, I see clouds and some type of metal object and there's a mountain in the background. Like, I think I would get tired of doing that. So I don't know how you felt about having to do that, how much you actually do that.
I think it really depends probably on like who you play with. Like when I play with my girlfriend, I point out the things that I know will interest her. Is there a cute flower, an animal in the background? Yeah, like I'll be like it's stormy out versus when she explains things to me, she's like it's dark and gloomy and there's a hallway. Like it really kind of depends. Like
Yeah.
It's yeah. I didn't find it too annoying.
Okay.
So I haven't read through the rule book or anything, but what is the breakdown of like how many cards are in this box? Because to get the money's worth, like there's got to be 500 cards in this thing.
No, way more than that.
Oh,
just like I don't know how well you can see it. This is the box.
Holy smokes!
And there are probably 900 item, people, flora cards that have tons of information, and I think there's 900 or 800 location cards.
Holy cow!
And then on top of that, there's a pack, and this is what there's so much in here that he never really talked about, which is kind of the point. But there's even like a spoiler pack that no one's mentioned, nothing about it, and there are cards in here that are I don't want to give it away, but it's a new mechanic that you wouldn't think Jamie Stegmaier would put in a game because usually it's kind of like strays away from it. Or an action, I should say, and these cards help with them.
Okay.
So, and I finally got to open one of them after like the 5th game because I was like, I haven't seen a post about it, nothing. No one said anything what they were. But yeah, there's and tons of cards, and I feel like I've maybe gone through like 5% of them in my 12 plays. Because sometimes you get some repeats where you are, but they're all so different. And even if you go one path, the likelihood that you remember to go the same way again is so slim. The same action or anything like that. The possibilities are
fired up about this thing.
I know.
No, I think you would love it, Travis.
Travis is a sure win.
I was going to say playing this solo is so cool. It is amazing how well this came out. And I'm hooked. I've played. That's something else I was going to mention. Tapestry is my favorite game of all time. Any designer, everything. I love Tapestry. I've only played Tapestry in person 10 times in the 3 or 4 years I've owned it. I've played this 12 times in 14 days.
That's wow.
It's a contender for me, 100%. I'm like looking at all the cards over here. Yeah. So.
I mean, I'm inspired by how ambitious this game was. You always have to respect something. I mean, Jamie's talked about it at length about what's this 8 years in development that he's poured so much thought and design work into this game. It's good to hear that it's getting, I think, majority positive reviews, especially at those lower and solo player counts. It looks awesome.
Hey, think about it. Like this to me says like video game, right? The Zeldas, the Destinies, the No Man's Sky, whatever. You're exploring these abandoned worlds and you're seeing new things and you're interacting in different ways. And those teams that make those video games that take 8 years to make, those teams are ginormous, right? Like those big AAA games that put quality content out like this. And Jamie Stegmaier is like the smallest of teams. And even just the artwork alone for, 1,000 different cards is going to take forever. I can't believe that this is even a thing. I'm super intrigued. I might have to look this guy
and
up.
I think there's only 3 artists. So out of those like 1,400 cards, 3 artists did all of it.
That is incredible.
Which is insane. And the fact that they didn't even, I was listening to talk, he didn't even do it in order. Like he would get a card and be like the art for it and then create around that kind of thing. Or like, this is where this is going to go. So none of the cards. Well, there's some of them are in order, but other cards are just like randomly, like you're in a hot spring, and then next you're in the mountains. Like so, but apparently, if you were to line them up, they would make a complete globe. You just need
Oh,
2 sets to do it. He said it is possible if you have both that it is a round planet, so you could do it.
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Holy smokes.
Dang. So real quick, back to the gameplay. You touched on a lot. So
Yeah.
on your turn, like a turn by turn basis, the core actions. I know you can take a location action, which are the things on the side. You can move. Is there something else you can do on your turn?
So you can do location actions. You can do, and when you're doing a location action, unless otherwise said, you can only do one there the entire game.
Okay.
You can do card actions, and there's card actions like in this picture here on any of the cards in your grid, or on the central board with all the tokens. There's the mission and destiny cards go there. You can do actions off of those as well.
Okay.
Those don't have a limit of how many you can do. However, like if you do one, it's going to give you the same answer each time, so it's kind of silly. Versus the ones on your cards in front of you in your grid, you can use those over and over again. And then the other option is departing. And there's like on the departing one, there's this compass. And the one pointing upwards is always north, but it's not geographic north. It just means in front of you. So if you were to turn around, south would become north. So that's the other action you can do. And depending if there's a number on it, you can spend 1 coin or roll 1 challenge dice to move there. Or if there's an asterisk, which you probably won't see because it's shiny and blurry, it's that south one. You can you'd go through the depart book, and it will be like roll this many dice, and you'll succeed no matter what, and it'll tell you where to go. So it's so interconnected, it's crazy.
The challenge dice. There's a big pool of them. You fill up spots on your grid so that you don't have to take penalties for them.
Yep, exactly.
And when do they get reset back to the middle?
So there's the pool like in that picture, and that's where they start.
Yeah.
When you spend them, they either go on your card or that penalty box, which is on the top of the card over there. Once there are no dice or not enough dice to do an action, it all resets back to the pool.
Okay, so it auto resets.
In a 1-player game, there's I think it's 8 dice, 6 plus 2. I think that's right. So once you go through those, they reset. And yeah, I only briefly did it, but yeah, like when you see the dash, that has no effect to you. And then when you see this, it's like a reset that goes automatically back into the pool. So if you keep rolling these, you're never going to reset and get the ones off your cards where you can save yourself from getting penalties.
Wow.
All right, Travis. Now you can say whatever you want to say.
I was going to say you as you venture around, it tells you where to go in the booklet. And you said that you've seen like maybe 5% of these cards. Have you ever had instances where you end up in the same location as you had previously? Like
in a previous
between games? Yeah.
Only once, and it just happened to be because I think I just lucked out, and it was one of the starting locations, because there's starting locations, and you roll your dice to see, like, there's a ton of them, and depending on the skill dice you roll, I don't know where I put them, there's like 30 of them, not 30, probably 20, and depending on it, you will end up in that location. And if you had like you have these 2 symbols, you're going to go to the same location if you have that same card. So that's the only time I've really run into it. Otherwise, no, I have yet to repeat a location.
And this plays up to 6. So how does it work if like 2 players have to go to the same location?
You would share the
possible?
card. Yeah, you would just pass the card back and forth so they can look at it. Yeah, but I think that would be such a rarity if you were to ever get on that same thing Like I was flipping through before here, and I shouldn't have done it. I was flipping through to find a card that it was like I've seen before, and I was like, "Oh man, I just saw a card I've never seen." There's so many. You'll never see the same thing probably. I mean, maybe if I keep going.
Yeah. Wow.
Sounds like you're gonna.
I cannot believe this plays up to 6 players. Like, that would probably take forever, but just passing back and forth all those rule books, I feel like you'd have to go to like an app-based thing at that point. Because
on the back of all the rule books is actually like your reference sheet.
okay.
So if you played at 6 and everyone had one book, whenever you did the green help, I would read that for you, or the blue depart. Like you could do it that way, and then that splits up the reading, and that's actually how they recommend you do it. So like if I'm somewhere, Clay will read it to me, so I can't cheat to see what it says.
Okay.
Not that it makes a difference, because once you choose, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So
maybe it's a spoiler, but when you choose a location action, you don't know what's going to happen if you decide to, search this rubble or whatever. Is there like branching paths once you choose that, or is it usually just say one thing, or do you get to, spend more things to maybe go a different way?
Yeah, so there are actions that you'll do. Some of them are the overpowered ones. I've seen them in, or what's that called? There's the take ones. I've seen it where it'll give you like you walk into this bar and kind of like a D&D thing. What do you want to do? And it'll list off 3 or 4 options.
Oh, okay.
And then it'll tell you something, or like you can spend a boost or $1 and you'll get a different thing than if you did the other. So yeah, some of them do break down further and kind of branch off to the different options and what you could do. I've usually only seen it when you're dealing with like another sentient out there, another life form.
Okay. Wow. One more question, since we've been talking for almost half an hour now. You mentioned that you have the overarching mission, and one of them is collect the menagerie of animals. How many different missions are there without any spoilers? Like, are there like hundreds, or is it a collection of them?
I don't know, because that's the other thing. There's missions, and I've probably seen 12 of them. Oh no, 11 of them. I got the menagerie of animals twice, and then because without looking at them, it's kind of hard to tell. But you have missions, you have destinies, you have quests, you have all these different things. But just like thinking about it, probably I would think at least 60 of something like in that range. But there could be more. I don't know, because those cards are not in order. Like there are plants right here, and then there are plants on the other end of the deck. Like I've pulled them from different places. I have no idea. I don't even think I've heard him talk about how many there are.
Okay. I think that's kind of the point. That's wild, man.
Yeah. He's been pretty good about like not giving spoilers. And combating it on Facebook. There's a Facebook group, and he does pretty good about like, hey, don't do this. Like, put it in the comments and say spoiler. He's been working really hard not to ruin it for anyone.
Dang, you got me fired up about this game, Mike.
If we could all be together, I would say right now, let's go. It is such a great game.
It sounds like
it.
How far are you from Las Vegas?
I'm in Arizona. I can be there in 6 hours driving.
So you coming to World Series of Board Gaming then?
Maybe. I've thought about doing it.
You're gonna be there.
I know. That's why it's tempting. I started a new job. I decided to quit that job on Friday, and I'm starting a new job on Tuesday. So I don't know what that's going to look like yet. So maybe I'm debating it.
Okay. Yeah. Keep us posted. We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
Awesome. This has been a great conversation. Super informative. You are a great co-host, Mike. We would love to have you on again. Anytime. But before we go, do you want to give a shout out to anybody? Do you want to like tell people where they can find you on the internet?
Yeah, I mean, I am not as active anymore as far as like posting reviews and stuff, but I'm Bearwin Plays Games on Instagram. I have a TikTok. I do a few things here and there with, but I feel too old for that, so not very much. uh, but yeah, no, that's it, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tag your Instagram handle in the show notes if you are interested in following Mike. You play some awesome games. You're always posting interesting stuff. I love following your page because you get me pumped up to play games. You're like July, Shelf of Shame clean out is been super interesting to follow, and you're playing some of my favorites. So thank you for. Oh yeah, Button Shy Games. You got Marvel Champions on there.
Mm-hmm.
You got Games of Root going on. Fell in love with Wonderland's War, I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, no, it's great.
Dang. So, yeah, I live vicariously through you now because I do not play as many games as I was when I was in Colorado. And when I see you playing all these games, I'm like, we got to get this guy on because he is doing the Lord's work playing games.
Yes, he is.
And I want to hear about him.
I have to shout out my girlfriend for that because she puts up with the hobby and this and all the stuff over here. So,
she's a keeper.
Yep, I'd say so.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Mike, for Operation Game Night. I have been Travis. He has been Clay. He's been Mike Argenziano. Dang,
there you go. You got it. You had it twice.
From Bearwin Plays Games. Thank you for joining us. This has been OGN, and we're out.